We're going to talk about peace today, about peace, and I love it that I just felt that in the worship and as Dante was praying and the things that were being sung, as Matt was singing, you could just feel this presence of God, that he was just resting on this place and showing us that his peace is, his love is beyond understanding and it goes beyond anything that could possibly come our way. And, I got a chance to spend a couple hours yesterday with the food pantry, and they're doing an amazing thing, our food pantry that we have here at the church. And we have a wonderful group of volunteers and people that help to do that. And actually, it's a pretty large group of people because we have so many people that come and need assistance. But to see what is going on, and Janie told me that there's 167, I believe, families in November, December that we've been able to help and to give them sustenance, to help them on their way and to bring a peace of mind in that way. But that's not the only thing. And the most encouraging and amazing thing that I've seen there, and I say this because I want to share with you that we all are called to bring his peace. It's supposed to be with us and in us, and we are supposed to have that peace, but to bring it to others and to be able to see there at the food pantry what they're doing, and not only giving people food and giving them that peace of mind, but to see that over a handful of years, there have been some people that have come and been addicted to drugs in really, really rough places, and coming in a real mess. But to see that, we're not only giving them food, but we're giving them Jesus. That we take a moment to pray with them. We see them where they are and to stand with them in that moment. And to see, there was a couple of people there that I got to see yesterday that were addicted to drugs, that were in a really, really rough spot, and they needed to come in to get help, but that the prayers of the church helped them to get past that season that they were in, and to see that God healed them, God restored them, and not only was there that food that was given them, but Jesus and his peace. To see somebody that was in such a state, and addicted, but then our love that resides in us because it's Jesus' love, that he's with us, that we can give that to those around us, that they can live in that peace also. And to see, you guys all have to go, okay? I don't think that they'll mind. Janie, will you mind if you have like 150 or 200 extra volunteers? We have a schedule coordinator, she says. But to see the joy in this person's life, so excited. You know what the rest of that story is? And she said, you know what? She came in and Janie's like, you gotta meet this lady and let her tell you the story. The same one that a couple of years ago was addicted and really having a rough time, that she came. And she came this yesterday morning, and somebody's knocking at the door. She came and she's so excited, and she's like, you know what? There was a couple of girls that came by my house yesterday, and they came in and they just wanted to talk. And so they were asking me questions about, do you believe in reincarnation? And she's like, well, no, that's not what the Bible says. I don't believe that. And they're like, okay, well, we just want to talk. Can we ask questions? It's like, sure. So she started talking to them, and then they're like feeling the call, or the like God like tugging at their hearts, and they say, why? We want to be saved. And this woman led these girls to Jesus yesterday. See, that is amazing. So the peace of God was brought into her life, that we were able to help with that. And then she was able to help others. That's what it's all about right there. She received that peace, and she was able to give that to those around her. In John 14:27, Jesus says, I am leaving you with a gift. He's giving us a gift. Now, of course, he sent his Spirit to reside in us, but there's something about this scripture that I want to like get at, and he says a gift. I'm placing something in your hands. And we're around Christmas, so let's talk about kids, whenever they wake up really early, really too early, because, all the parents get up, like, okay, seriously, we're going to wake up and do presents, but you don't have to wake up at 4:30, But think about this. Can we get up in the morning and be like those giddy little children that are ready and waiting for that gift to be placed in their hands? Whenever we understand that God has given us a gift. He wants to place it in our hands every single day. He says, this gift, Jesus said, I give to you. Can we wake up every morning and be like, I'm ready for the peace? Anybody? Paul. Just like wake up and be like so excited, like I'm ready. Jesus, allow me to hold that gift that you've given me, to walk through this day in peace of mind, with the peace that you give, the peace that passes beyond understanding. God, can I walk in that today? Anybody? I don't know. Peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift that the world cannot give. This isn't just some natural peace, some peace that we can create. Because, ours is not really that great. We try to, it's like, I'm going to create peace in my life. So I'm going to go over and hide in the corner. Actually, I'm going to put a blanket over my head so that nobody can see me, so nobody can talk to me. They won't even know that I'm here. And somehow, maybe I'll have peace. Or maybe we create peace by pushing people away or fighting with them and defeating them, and then I'll have peace. Anybody? You know what I'm talking about? That's our peace. That's what we create. But he's saying this is not what the world can give. This is not that kind of peace. This is something that goes way beyond that. And that's what I'm giving you. So don't be troubled or afraid. See, the words peace, there's a couple different words in the Bible. The first in the Old Testament is shalom. And it literally, if you boil it down, just means peace. Or it's not this kind of like, I hope that you won't have trouble. It means more of like good tidings, and I pray that there will just be great things happen in your life as you walk through the day. There's another word, it's used in the New Testament, it's, if I get it correctly, orene, I believe. And that one is security, safety, prosperity. There's quite a few different things that it speaks of, but none of these words actually mean taking you away from circumstances or you not walking out your daily life with things going on around you. But what it means is that there could be a multitude of things that happen around you, but it doesn't matter because you will have shalom or orene. You'll have this peace with you. This gift, Jesus says, that I give you, that is what you will have. And it doesn't matter what is going on around. It doesn't matter what the day looks like, because what you look like is peace, because that's what I'm giving you. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is excited about that. Because I know, it's like, what, Christmas is, it's the 16th. 9 days away. Anybody been out shopping yet? Hopefully you did. I had a couple people tell me that their Christmas presents are all wrapped already. I know, it's crazy. But you go out shopping and it's like, there's cars and, policemen guiding traffic and making sure people don't get all, crazy and angry and all this stuff. And in this season, even more than most people, think about that. Yeah. Well, what's this? season's supposed to be about. And this season makes us even more agitated and angry and fearful, and we got to run out there and, get the Black Friday stuff and trample people down. But you can walk through into that store with peace, because that's what you walk with if you're walking with him. That's his gift, that gift that he wants to give us. See, Paul, he speaks about how he could be content. And in that word arena, it even says a contentness. He says, I can be content. I can have peace and be okay, whether I'm doing good, whether I'm doing bad, whether I'm in jail, whether I'm running and dancing down the streets. I don't care. It doesn't matter, because those things don't have any bearing on my life, because all that has bearing on my life is God, what he has for me, and who he is, and his peace and his love that reigns in my life. It doesn't matter. See, he's holding on to that gift of peace that Jesus is talking about. And that's what he's trying to get to us. In James 1:2, it says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. What is he talking about? What? He's like, not only like, I can be content, I can have peace if I'm not going through the best day. But he's now taking it a step further. He's like, hey, let's count it joy. How do you do that? He says, because it's producing something in your life, actually, if you walk through whatever situation you're walking through. See, pressure, struggle, walking through things that aren't just tiptoeing through the tulips actually produce stuff in our life. But how do they do that? They do that whenever we allow God to bring that peace, that love, that strength, all those things that he wants to grow in us when we walk through the situation, not run away from it. He wants us to be strong in him. And as we walk through these things, we can walk through. And that's why James, he's like, consider it pure joy when you go through a struggle. Why? Not because there's a struggle, but because who you're going to be when you get past it. What God's going to do in you when you're walking through it. Consider that. Don't look at the situation. Look at who God is making you. What he's doing in you. That's what this is. As Paul says, I can be content. I can have peace because they know that God is working no matter what's going on. So Jesus says, my peace. He said, it's his. It's his. This is not some natural thing. It's supernatural. It's amazing, this peace. If we can understand that it's something not this world can give, but only he can, and that he is freely. He's saying, I give it. This is a gift to you. You can walk not in fear or with anxiety. Not that I'm taking you away from the struggle or the thing. I think that, sometimes we want to just be blown away from, it's like either blow the stuff away from us or blow, God, you can do it. Just blow the trouble away. Or take me away to another place, a good place. And then you realize that you're still here on earth. In that next place, you're like, oh, God, take me away. Like we're some feather that he's just going to blow place to place and nothing. But it's not what the case, because he wants you to actually be standing on the rock, right? He wants us to be strong in his love and his peace. That peace allows you to stand in any circumstance with resolve. See, in Philippians 4:7, it says, then you will experience God's peace. I love it. We can experience God's peace, not just some natural peace, but God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. It's beyond our understanding. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus, as we live in him, as we walk with him. We allow ourselves not to run, hey, I'm going to run away, find peace. No, as we walk with him, that we find that peace. But it says it guards your heart. You know that word guard is not like you're getting locked away, like I was talking about. Like, hey, lock me away, God. Just cover me up. Concrete all around. Nothing can get in. It's just, and I can't get out. I'm secluded from the rest of the world. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean like he's, watching you. It's more of an action of outward action. It's a protection as you're walking through the thing, not keeping you away from it. See, that word is frurero, I believe. It means to guard, protect by a military guard, either to prevent hostile invasion or to keep the inhabitants of a besieged city from flight. Look at this. So it's like this giant guard standing around you. And as you walk through the situation, that there might be something that's trying to attack, and there's an invading army, and they're coming, but you don't run away. You're just walking because you know who you are and the peace that you have, that gift that Jesus has given you of peace. And you walk forward knowing that, hey, these things are coming, but it doesn't matter. I know who I am. I know the peace that I have. I know who God is and who I am in him. And it's watching guard, protecting from that attack. But it's also as we walk forward in him, and we come like in these moments, maybe in the food pantry, other moments whenever we're walking out our daily lives and we come into this circumstance where we are bringing peace. See, we can bring peace or we can bring fear. Well, what are we bringing with us? Because the gift that God has given us is peace, not fear. He doesn't give that because he's not afraid. That's not who he is. But we bring peace. And as we come into a situation, maybe like the food pantry, where there's some kind of attack or some kind of struggle, and this guard, it actually keeps the thing from running away or getting away. So whenever we come and bring our peace into the situation, that guard, that peace actually keeps the enemy from getting away, so we can actually take care of it and kill it right there on the spot. Think about that. See, whenever we walk forward in peace, fear and anxiety has to go. Whenever we walk forward in fear, we can bring fear into that situation. We can bring anxiety or tension into a situation, or we can walk like God is wanting us to walk and bring that peace that takes, and you can walk. I'm telling you, I've seen it before, and who was I talking to? I heard some stories. Somebody was telling me just the other day. Anyway, my stories. I'll tell my stories. But in situations where somebody is coming, I've told, I think before, our neighbor, just angry and a mess, and this was quite a few years ago, 15 years ago maybe. And because I was doing something, I was right on the property line, and I was on my side, but he thought I was cutting his tree down and all this stuff, and he was upset and just fiery mad, and he's coming, he's like, "What are you doing? Are you trying to cut my tree down?" And I'm just like, "Hey, I'm sorry, sir." In that moment, my first thought was, no, it wasn't peaceful. But I was thinking, I don't want to get into an argument or bring strife into the situation. I live next to this guy. Hopefully things could be peaceful. I was like, "I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut your tree down. I was just trying to get some limbs off of my over my driveway because I had a car that was kind of newer, and it kept dropping these limbs. Anybody have that happen? It's like the most frustrating thing. Like more like big branches, actually. And I thought I was going to come out one time and my windshield was going to just be broken. And so I was just like trimming over my driveway, and he comes all mad, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to cut your tree down. If you don't want me to touch the tree, that's totally fine. I was just trying to keep him from falling on my car. And he's like, oh, no. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm just such an angry old guy. He was an older guy. He was like in his 70s or 80s, which is not very old, which is not that old. I'm sorry, Grandma. He was older than me. But he's like, and it starts telling me his life story. I got diabetes, and I got to go to work, and I wish I didn't have to work anymore, and, all this stuff, and I'm just sorry. I just, don't even mind me. I'm just a grumpy old guy. And I was like, no, it's totally okay. But I could have brought one of two things into that situation. I could bring peace. Luckily, I chose the right one in that situation. Or I could bring fear or strife into that situation. But God calls us to bring peace with us. Amen. He says that peace will stand guard over your heart and your mind. Your mind can have peace. And not only that, it can bring peace to those around you. It can take those things that are bringing anxiety and fear in others and draw them down and take them down and bring peace into their life. And you can walk forward and go into any situation, and that thing that's happening doesn't have to get into your heart or your mind. It doesn't have to, because that peace can stand guard. That's Christ's gift. That's what he's giving you, that peace of mind and heart. It's not to take us away from trouble, not to just move us around like, whoo, but to make us a fortress of peace in any situation. Think about that. Standing guard over your life, that a fortress, you're a moving fortress, that wherever you go, peace goes and everything else has to leave. Fear, anxiety, all those things. And it's his gift. He says, my peace, it's supernatural. It's his, not this world's. We can't try to do it ourselves because we mess it up. Even the good things. Our love, we just can't possibly do it like he does it. Our peace, we can't do it like he does it either. So we bring his. We allow ourselves to move in his, that gift that he is giving to us. See, Jesus moved this way. And in John 19:10, you have Pilate, and he's got Jesus standing right before him, and he's like trying to question him, like, hey, who do you think you are? And Jesus is like, I'm Jesus. I'm God. But he doesn't talk at first. He doesn't talk to Pilate because he has resolve and peace. And Pilate goes, why don't you talk to me? He was getting so mad. Pilate demanded, don't you realize that I have the power to release you or crucify you? How many times do we feel like that's what the situation is? It's got the power to either, be better or make me better, or it's got the power to just take me down and kill me. But do we realize that the power isn't in that thing? The power is in us. It's Jesus. It's that peace, that love. It's who he is in us. The power is there. It doesn't reside in anything else around us. Verse 11, then Jesus said, you'd have no power over me unless it was given to you from above. I mean, the reason I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to is because you're saying you have all this power, but I know that the power is not with you. That the only reason that you could possibly do any of these things to me is if that power is given to you from my Father. Can we walk with that kind of steadfastness and resolve through a situation to see that's what he's given us. It's not some counterfeit or some carbon copy that's a little less. No, that is what he's given. We can walk into the situation and say, you can't scare me. I'm not gonna be afraid or have anxiety. You can get mad and yell at me all you want and tell me I have the power over you. Well, you know what? Any kind of power that you possibly have, it can only be given to you from God. So I don't have to fear because God is in me. Because his peace is in me. It's been given to me as a gift. That's how we're supposed to walk. And just as Jesus said in John 14:27, so don't be troubled or afraid. This peace that he's given us, this guard over us, walking with us, that fortress of peace is with us no matter what situation, no matter what day it is. Can we get up and jump up and say, God, I'm so excited about today because I've got your peace in me. That I can bring that peace. I love it. It's like the peace is in us and we get to let people in on it too. God, I can show people who you are. And they can have peace of mind and heart. They can know you. They can be healed. They can be restored. Their relationships, their body, their mind, whatever, it can be healed. It can know you, and you will bring restoration and healing. You will bring peace. I love that. And we can get up every day like that. I don't know about you. I mean, Pastor Mike gets up all giddy in the morning, but you know, I'm kind of more of a morning person, but I still don't wake up all like super excited. But when you think about it this way, who you are, what you have, what you can bring because of Christ in you, because of that gift that he's given each and every one of us, can we wake up? Hey, maybe it'll take a couple minutes or a cup of coffee, but wake up and say, God, thank you so much for what you've done for me. I will walk through this day with your peace, and I will let other people see it and experience it too. Amen. Would you stand with me?